Although October is recognized as National Cybersecurity Month, it's important to be vigilant all year, especially during the holiday season when millions of Americans are out there shopping online and more people are using the World Wide Webs, as Jessica would say. In this segment, Jessica connects with a cybercrime expert who reveals the most dangerous digital threats. We originally aired this back in October, but we wanted to share it again now.
October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And of course, with everything online these days, this is top of mind for so many. We're joined today by Alex Hamerstone. He's a cybersecurity expert. Alex, it's great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
Our pleasure. Look, you are the man of the moment, and especially over the many last months as we're trying to focus on being safe and secure online. This certainly was top of mind for so many before the world changed. And now as everything has shifted, it is first and foremost for so many.
It is. It's just about everything that we're doing now is online. It's, the kids are doing school online, everybody's working from home that's able to. And so much has just shifted. In addition to how things have changed over the past decade or two, where now almost all our news and information is now consumed online. I mean, friendships are made online. People are finding partners online. People bank online. It's just everything is online now. Your whole world, your whole life.
So many folks find it's somewhat overwhelming even using the technology, let alone wrapping your mind out of how to best protect. So what are some of the things we should be keeping in mind, especially now that most everything is online?
So first and foremost, I always want to be extremely clear that you never want to blame victims, right? So if you're the victim of a scam or a crime, you are a crime victim. But that being said, there are a lot of things that any of us can do to become more secure and make it less likely that we'll be the victim of a crime. And a lot of them are simple things that we've been saying for years. Things like make sure that you have antivirus software. Make sure that you keep your computer up to date with these updates that come out. When Microsoft or whomever is pushing out an update, it's because there's a flaw. And if they know about the flaw, so do the attackers. So make sure things are up to date. And really, as much as it seems overused to say it, but just be vigilant. Things that seem too good to be true generally are. When you look at these things, nobody scams people by saying they're going to get you 4 or 5% conservative returns on your investment. They scam you by saying they're going to triple your money in a week, right? So these things that seem too good to be true, though, that's what scammers use. And even things, around the holidays, with the holidays coming up, you'll see all these scams that will use whatever the hot toy is. I mean, I wish I knew it was going to be this year because I go out and get it for the kids in advance. But really, it's if there's something that's completely unavailable in stores and suddenly some website has it, that should raise some red flags. So as much as it's overused, use that common sense.
Great advice. And sometimes we get going a mile a minute, so you don't think about those things. Keeping up to date on the most recent updates, making sure that password is legitimate. And we're just, to be quite honest, I think also flustered that it's easy to want to believe this better than can be expected story that's coming out with scammers. And you mentioned the holidays. Are there top things that you're seeing, or maybe scams that have shifted to rise to a greater popularity you're seeing more frequently?
Sure. So just trending, they're much more common now. So SMS scams, so your messaging scams on your phone, voicemail scams, things like that. But what we really see are consistent scams, throughout the year and the years, but the context or the pretext that they're using changes. So right now, with the election coming up, everyone's interested in that. You'll see a lot of scams related to the election. Whether it's to get you to click on things or information or things like that. We saw a lot of, scams with the COVID and the pandemic. So, fake contact tracing, people that were selling, N95 masks or things that were hard to get, and you'd buy it and never get it. Or just really, using that as a pretext. People want more information about it. They're going to click links. And so really whatever the hot news topic is, if there's a hurricane somewhere, then you'll see, people use that as a phishing pretext. They'll try to get you to click on things to offer a donation or what have you. So really, the scammers, I think they keep up on the news and they know what the hot topics are, and that's what they're going to use.
Absolutely. And in the time that we have left, Alex, we said our whole lives are online. They were very much before, now they are. And so are our children and grandchildren. And so many of them have head back to the classroom digitally. Are there things that we should be doing in that pretext? Because I think you might want to say, oh, the school systems are handling that, or these things are protected. Are there things we should be keeping in mind on that front?
So, there's advice that I can give as a technologist and advice that I can give as a fellow parent. And really, I think it's you really want to keep track of what your children are doing. It's I don't know the right age when kids should have full freedom, to not have you check up what they're doing online. I know it's not 12 though, right? I mean, maybe it's it's older than that. And so really just keep track of what your kids are doing. Take a look at the apps they're downloading. For years, the advice was, when computers used to be these big things that you had to be plugged into the wall for internet, was have your computer in the kitchen or the living room or somewhere that you are as well. But now these kids have these handheld devices that can work anywhere. So really, making sure that you know what they're doing, obviously talk to your kids. You don't want to scare them, but the world is a scary place. There are a lot of bad people. And so making sure that they know what's out there. And then, just parent to parent, for me, it's extremely important that kids know they can always talk to you. They're not going to get in trouble because someone's harassing them online, whether it's bullying or it's some kind of predator. Is that because bullies and predators will oftentimes threaten if you tell your parents, you'll get in trouble, or your parents will get in trouble. Make sure your kids know they can always come to you. They can always share things with you and that you're going to help them if they have a problem.
Great advice, Alex. Thank you so much for making time and sharing your thoughts with us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on anytime.
Absolutely. And we'll be sure to include a link so that you can learn more about Alex and his advice, WTVR.com/BTM.